you've got like 3 main storytellers, and you kind of, it's like a scenario, like choosing the difficulty that you'd like to play on and stuff. They kind of explain like, you know, one storyteller will send stuff consistently, or one will send it sporadically, and you can choose how you'd like the game to be running and stuff like that. If you'd like it on like more casual, or if you'd like it to be just insanely hard and stuff like that. So you can also scale it up with your experience with the game too. So that's another big thing. What else is going on? Remember the run? Remember the nun I helped? She messed up her password to Bitwarden, and I came to help her. Turned out Bitwarden is so safe they don't even offer password recovery. So I had to delete the account and start anew. Fortunately, she doesn't have a lot of internet presence. Jesus Christ. That's a hell of a thing. Just fucking... Oh, yeah, no, you can't have that. Bye-bye, make a new one. Another deposit of gold. Nice, hold on. I'm just trying to get a drink of water then. I'm trying to mitigate the fly spray with water. It's helping a little bit. I've got another lump out here, so we'll go to that probably on our way through as well. Welcome in, Nuke Dragon. Most people don't have worlds as big. Did I hear that right? Yes. Yeah, so normally a colony exists of between 1 and 5 colonists. And most people can comfortably play 10 to 20 colonists. Some play up to 50 or 100 and stuff like that, but most people don't go beyond that. I have 282. Also, most people's games are kind of like fleeting, kind of like either you start and lose it the same day, or you start and end it that week or month, and I've been playing it for 2+ years. So also most people's colonies, again, are kind of like, do you see this like box section here? That would be an entire colony, like everything in that one space. Just all of this would be enough for like everything, and it's more condensed and like compacted and stuff. I like sprawling based designs and stuff. I like to kind of like spread out and stuff. I also don't do kill boxes, which keep me, you know, more exposed and shit. I do turrets. I do turrets a lot. But I also don't encase things like, you know, I don't encase stuff like this, and you know, so when we get attacked, this gets broken and I have to repair it. I consider it collateral damage of a battle and stuff like that. Some people protect that, and the resources like that you can see over here. Hold on, let me move over so we can see it. Most people's resources, this line here, are not this long and do not include to like the 14,000s and up and stuff. I guess like 1,000 at best and stuff. So that's more normal kind of stuff. There's another gold pile. Outside again. 3 lumps. Alright, I'm gonna need to send another caravan with more people out. I'll send another group of miners, but I'll try to find a smaller group. Like, I'll send them to one and they'll move between them. I'll try to get some more wood and shit while we're at it. Just bear with me for just 2 seconds while I grab a couple of people. And loser, I'm mining steel in my base right now. I don't really want everybody out here. Who else is here? Jailbird, not plank cutter. Where is Sasha lately? I feel like Sasha's like so low down on my list. I never even get to her. Parsons can go. Let's see who else. I will hydrate, Shadow, thank you. I'll hydrate while I'm looking for people. I'll tell you what, I am mostly sitting upright. It's just that I do have like my legs like stretched out straight from me and shit, because I ended up sitting on my chair for a really long time last night post-stream. And my legs, the back of my legs kind of hurt a bit. So I'm trying to like lift off them a little bit. Also, like, I did end up being awake over the 24 hours like I said I was probably going to be as well, because I didn't go to sleep until like late afternoon. Let's see who else is in here. I kind of want to grab a couple of people because I kind of want to grab a lot of animals. You can go. You're a shit shot. You can go. You're no use to me at home. I will stretch in just a second, Shadow. Just let me get everybody in the caravans and crap. Just the same as, like, give me a second for messages, people. Not Chipper. We don't want to send Chipper. I want to send... I'd like to send closer to 2,000, but I don't want a huge caravan. No. I was tempted, though. Hold on. Do 5. Yeah, 5's fine. Okay, let's get you some food. You could probably take that much kibble. They keep taking, like, a shit ton of kibble. And I don't think they understand that nobody fucking eats it. And when they do eat it, they get pissy about it. So since we're actually going to be out here for a while, 18 days worth of food should be enough. Take a couple of extra herbals. All right, there we go. All right, that's going to sort that out. Also, the other thing too is I save the game a lot. You can also play on like commitment mode, similar to like hardcore and stuff like that, where it's just like whatever happens, happens. And, you know, if your colony dies and stuff. The other thing too is you can also play on like no pause, where you can choose not to ever pause the game and just deal with stuff all in real time. And like I said, the game usually is moving a fuck ton faster than this, so that can get really, really complicated and shit. What else? I missed a couple of messages. Oh, we went to doctor today and they told me bronchitis and told me not to go back to work tomorrow, so I'm home for this week. I'm using Bitwarden too. Made a little thing to help my parents make pass phrases for Bitwarden. The Fingier cipher variant. See, this is really the first time I'm hearing about it, so I'm going to have to Google that later to actually find out legit what it is, because I thought it was just like... I'm not actually even really sure what I thought it was. But no, I'll fucking Google that later and get a real idea of it, because some stuff I just don't hear about. Some stuff I do wonder if it's just like overseas stuff and whatever. But yeah, not cool about like the bronchitis and stuff. Yeah, do rest up, and you're always welcome to hang out and stream, obviously, if you feel up to it and shit. I'm always gas bagging. Like I said, Thursday is Diablo, and I'm hoping to do Friday's stream this week, like Project Zomboid, but it is really reliant on me not overtaxing myself throughout the week, because I have been doing that a lot since being sick, and I'm just kind of like not making it to Friday, but I kind of want to start making it to Friday. Like, I want to make it to Friday streams and stuff, but yeah, I've been exhausted by Fridays, and I've just been prioritizing sleep and rest and stuff like that. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, Wednesdays I don't stream and shit, just as a heads up. I do rigging for my avatar that I'm making for my live 2D avatar. So on Wednesdays and stuff. So I'm in and around Discord and shit, but like I'm not like online sort of thing. Like I will respond to messages and stuff, but they'll be few and far between and stuff while I'm focused on shit and stuff. So just as a heads up. Random RimWorld player inspection. Please have your Geneva suggestions checklist on standby for authentication. My people have done stuff. I don't mind that. I'd love to actually like go back and see all the things that my people have done, but there's just so many variations to the events, because I do the save and then reload, like the re-rolling scenarios. So sometimes I'm not even sure what canonically has actually happened. That happens. Definitely not this big. Wait, most people don't have worlds this big. Yeah, no. Let's colonies get to 20. I don't even delve that deep into it. I may look into myself, but that'd be too much. She barely knows a reset password anywhere. There's use of making a cipher. Oh yeah. I think that would be something to probably just maybe Google. The biggest game I've seen was 500. His PC could be heard from the moment he spawned. I watched one too. There was a fellow that had like a duck goose. There was I don't know what his channel is called, but he has a goose for his like self-representation, and he did like I think a 500 colonist start or something like that, and it was basically like a slideshow, and people kept dying and all sorts of stuff, and Yeah, it was wild. Just things just kept getting worse. It was great though. It was interesting to see. I think he ended up putting the video he recorded into a 2x speed, so it wasn't painful for the people watching it. Whereas, apart from the fact that I'm live on Twitch and YouTube, I put my VODs on YouTube as they are for the most part, like cut up, but like as they are, because I want people to understand what they're fucking getting into if they come and join stream. Like if they choose to want to come and watch me live and stuff, this is exactly one-to-one the experience of what's happening and stuff. Plus I'm talking non-stop, so there's always something going on where either I'd be cutting part of a conversation or I would be, you know, an event's happening or whatever, and yeah, it would be all over the place. It would just not make sense and shit. A giant colony like this once. It went into dev mode and created massive raid to wipe them out. Quite a battle. I've never been in dev mode so far with RimWorld. I saw somebody do it the other day. I think it was Jay Lee. And that was like the first time I've seen it. And I'm like, I didn't even know how to get in there. But there's a lot of settings and shit I don't even know anyway. Like I remember somebody saying like you could change the scenario, or you can check your scenario and stuff after you started. Because I remember somebody asked me something and I couldn't remember anymore. And there was all sorts of stuff like, what do you call it? Options. Yeah, like I've got my auto saves and shit. I've got, these are literally what I'm running. So whatever I've got is whatever I've got. Audio and shit, gameplay. I've got no names saved. That was something that somebody told me you could do to get people in, but I don't do it. And then like all my other settings and shit and my mods. So that was another thing. Somebody also said that you can like enable and disable DLCs, and I didn't know you could do that either and shit, just because like I just don't have it, so I don't know. Like some of that stuff I just don't know, you know, I'm learning and crap. So like I have had a lot of big colonies, but my colonies last for years, so I haven't had a lot of colonies. So a lot of it's just like, oh, I just don't have the experience with that, you know. Most colonies people end with like 250 pawn tribal raid. See, I wouldn't mind if I had a lot of people. People are easy. People are so fucking easy. People are weak to turrets, for starters. Like, my turrets, I'm good for turrets. It goes everywhere outside of there. It's just not in here because my people do stupid shit. But, like, I'm good for turrets. For turret battles. It's the mechs that I've got a problem with because they can mow through these pretty easily. They can also, like, kill them from a distance. There was one where I lucked out. I had an orbital bombardment beacon and a tornado generator as well. And I had to take a few goes at it, like a few save and re-goes and stuff like that, because I played through the entire battle from the mistaken placement and like a third of my colony got wiped out and shit. And then I reloaded, we tried again until we got like basically the least amount of losses we could have. And I think we lost like, I think it was 10 to 15 people. That was the biggest loss we've had. And that was with the Inferno Cannon raid that had like the 44 mechs and stuff. So that one wasn't too bad. It definitely could have been worse. Could have been so much worse. But yeah, I do try to like still play through them and stuff, but occasionally I get lucky and I've got shit. But Warden doesn't have passwords. Traditional sense, your master password is an encryption key. Yeah. I end my playthrough. Never beat the game. It just makes sense. Interesting. Didn't know that. Yeah, you guys kind of go into that a bit. I'll leave that be. Like I said, I'll Google the shit later. Too forgetful to tolerate no pause saves. As in, to tolerate no pause saves. As in, like, you don't quite remember what, like, you're doing and stuff, and then, like, time passes and it's like you've missed the opportunity to do the thing. That kind of thing. Or something else. Because, like, I write my shit down. Because I've been playing this for so long, I write down like key points that I need to remember to do last time. Like at the moment, big key points for tonight are I had a caravan on the way to Blue to trade the Parkers. We had a quest for that. I had to send a transport pod to them if I didn't have enough money for trade, which we did. I relayed the Parkers after the trade, which we did. I need to call in each of my traders. That's something I haven't done. I'll just find somebody to do that. What else we gotta do? I'll look for people while I'm doing this. We need to trade gifts of wood, if possible, or trade wood or gift wood to my allies if they're willing to have it, because we've got like 29,000 wood in supply at the moment, and I don't think I'm going to move that with me. I do need it for some of my fueled benches, right? Some of these are fueled. But yeah, I don't really need that much. I went out of my way to go and get a lot of wood because the only spot on my map that can kind of grow wood is out here, right? And my people don't want to go out here to harvest things, okay? They are not interested unless I manually tell them to go harvest that shit, right? So, yeah. Because of that, I went out of my way and I took massive caravans. We brought back a shit ton of wood. In the same way that when I go out on caravans for mining, I hunt the animals and I send somebody home with the dead animals so we can get them back in here and peeled and butchered and stuff, you know, and get the clothes and whatnot. So that's why at one point this whole thing was filling up with clothes. And then of course I had to trade out all of my excess clothing because we finally made enough to stop having over half the colony having tattered apparel. Now we've only got 42 people with tattered apparel. So they're pissy that their clothes are not like 100%. Beneath a certain percentage, they start being like, oh, I don't like this, you know. And if they take it off, they won't put it back on. There's Sasha. Fucking Sasha. That's where you've been. Oh, you have got your weapon. Anyway. Speaking of, does Senma have hers? Yes. Cool. That's fine. Senma is a great shot. I want to make sure she's got her shit. Why can't we just get attacked already? Like, I've been ready to be attacked here for like... You know what's gonna happen is when we get attacked, it's gonna be fucking awful. I keep getting worried when I get near the end of my streams lately because I'm like, what if I get attacked in the last 5 minutes and then it ends up being a 90-minute battle and I'm like, I clearly won't be streaming the next day, you know? I'm just trying to have a look around to see if I can spot somebody that can do some trading. I think it's Viper that does it. Oh no, it is Vulture. Oh no. Mate, can I get you to go do some call-ins? I'll have to spread them out a bit. So we'll have to get him to do that a few times. But yeah, I also had a note about sending a caravan to a gold lump mine to get wood and then hunt animals. I was supposed to be bringing home wood with the group that I sent down, which is now currently on the way. Take me back to world. Currently on the way to this group. They were coming down to do wood cutting, but it's fine. We've sorted it out anyway. They're useful. But yeah, I have notes for stuff like that so I can remember what the fuck I'm doing a month later or whatever and stuff, you know. Well, I'm good at remembering passwords, made up words, so I wouldn't be much use for myself, but definitely something useful, worth remembering. Fast forward to fast and food runs out. I only realize after starvation and death. That's the other thing too, is I can put my game on like fast forward and shit, but the amount of things that can go wrong, critically wrong, in a short amount of time, I don't like fucking with it. I didn't like fucking with it when I had less people and shit was moving incredibly faster and stuff. I just don't care. The other thing too is I have a world of fucking patience, so I don't care if it takes a while for them to like get around and do stuff. I have 282 fucking colonists. Every single colonist has known 300 plus people socially, plus animals. I also have like 300 odd animals, and every animal is connected genetically to some other fucking animal. I have like whatever it is, except for that yak apparently. Hold on, where's your log? I might not be able to see it because it's in the caravan. Let me check this cow just in case. I know one of them says like their lineage and stuff, unless that's broken. Hold on, let me go find a panther. Panthers, we know. Where is Bubba? Hold on. Bubba will test my theory of if that just broke or not. I also have different glitches depending on the week, so hopefully this isn't a new one. What is your history? There we go. Okay, so the other one's just not related to anybody. So this, yeah, there's a lot in there, but all the animals have descendant tree history, stuff like that. Let's see, find somebody really old in my colony. Silverware. Silverware is a great example. Social. So she's got she's a really good example. She's got a husband. She has, I think, 9 lovers. 2 are dead. She has a shit ton of friends, acquaintances. Plus she'll have rivals. Plus she'll have whatever else. Like every single colonist has got this. So you gotta remember, even if you think my game is like crawling, you have to give it credit. It's doing fucking great for the amount that I've got and all the fucking backlogging of everything. Also, don't forget the time we had, like, what was it? Like 150 odd chickens and 150 odd ducks getting around on top of everything else. That was great. The only time I really see this absolutely grind to a bit of a slideshow is when we get all of my crops come to full harvest, right? Because I've got plants sway on as well. So you can just barely see it, they sway and shit. That one's swaying. And so when all of my plants are at maximum harvestability, they're all swaying, they're all moving, and then I end up with like all of like the rice and stuff like that out in the field on the ground. I'll end up with like 2.5 grand of rice out in a paddock, or 9 grand of rice out in a paddock, on top of everything moving, on top of everyone, on top of every animal and stuff. And I think it does okay for that shit, you know. But yeah, generally speaking, if you have a lot of mods, your game won't tolerate this shit. It would have already like kind of died. Alright, we're at the gold lump. I don't think any of these people can actually do mining, to be fair. But just in case they can, let's get you guys up here. And I'll just give us a quick save, and then I'll sort out some other stuff while I'm here. More or less, you could have Cipher Tool, device, and just remember the fast phrase keys, remember it. I might have seen that. Mechs are indeed a pain. Yeah, so you can go PvP in this game, that's insane. So basically, it's kind of like you can go on the attack and go and attack your enemies and shit, or your allies. Like this is an ally encampment or base or whatever. This is an enemy here. It's like red dots. I could take a caravan or send transport pods and like drop in on their base and rip into them, steal their shit, attack their people and stuff like that. But bases are usually more heavily protected, which is why, like I said, in the future, I wouldn't mind doing a playthrough where I settle on the map and I just go out of my way to mow down my enemies and see if I can wipe them off the map. Because I believe you can wipe them off the map. And like the skulls are also enemies and stuff like that. There's a lot. Like this is, I think this is a 30% world generation, give or take. You can randomize your map that you land on. You can change the terrain, the amount of rain, the temperature, how many factions, how crowded, how populated. You can make it more coverage. You can have up to 50, I think it's only up to 50% or something like that. Or can you have 100%? I don't actually know. I normally play it like 50, 30, something around there kind of thing. But this one, because I wanted to play this for so long, I made it 30. But yeah, you can go and attack people if you want. When you start off, your allies, you have neutral. These 4 factions here are neutral. And they'll be in different colors, by the way. They won't necessarily look this particular shade. It's just this map that I've rendered, they're that color. So these guys will have a tendency to get hostile if you ignore them and just like let them exist. These ones will just kind of stay passively neutral and stuff. But if you give them gifts and you trade with them and stuff like that, you will eventually make them an ally and stuff. Or if you attack them enough, you'll make them an enemy. So you can choose to have only enemies by going and attacking everyone. Or you can choose to have up to 4 allies and stuff. So I think it's okay. You know. Yeah, what else? What's the late game? It keeps reverse of slaves. Does that keep reverse of slaves whose sole purpose is to die in battle? Yeah, I can kind of see, like, I've seen a few people do that and stuff as well. But, and that's AI, right? Yeah. Yeah, so basically, my colony, obviously they're just people that get around, automated, do whatever. I have a schedule for them, right? So every individual has a work priority. You can just do it like automatically. You can click that and they'll just automatically prioritize shit and stuff, but it won't be as effective as if you do it manually and stuff. But every single colonist has that. My allies, eventually one of them will come visit because like I've called them, but it won't probably be until next week. I probably won't see them. But they are just spawned, like generated and stuff. Like they will have a rough kind of pathing and stuff like that. Like if I click on one of my people that are traveling around at the moment, this little white line here is like a pathing, right? So it shows you where they're going to go and what they're doing and stuff like that, right? So you can follow it all the way down and find out that he's going to put wood here. And then you can see what he's up to. He's carrying wood. He's hauling wood to stockpile 18. You can give him additional tasks. So if I want him after he's done that, I could tell him to clean the workshop and he'll go clean the workshop and shit. So he'll just go and do that. Crap. But yeah, enemies and allies, they're all AI. You can use a mod that allows multiplayer. Like, I think 2 people to be in control of a base. I can't remember what it's called, but I do know of it because I've had so many people ask if I could get it so they could, like, join the colony and, like, do stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck do you think I'm supposed to keep people alive if I've got, like, random people prioritizing other shit or whatever? Like, it won't work. But yeah, you can definitely, like, build a colony together if you want with a friend or, you know, I don't know if you can fight each other, but in the DLCs, you get more enemies. Anomaly, I would recommend, is probably the most interesting DLC to me. A lot of people have their own preferences, but, like, you get all sorts of, like, random events and stuff like that you have to go and complete, and you might get, like, some kind of reward. Oh, finally. Oh my god, a raid. Fucking finally. Hold on. Let me... it's in the last 10 minutes. Oh, he can't fucking make this shit up. Okay, we're gonna stream till this is done. So I was streaming till 2 a.m. but recently I've dialed it back until 1 a.m. because I've been unwell. And I took Wednesdays out of the equation so I could do rigging and shit, right? And I have not been able to successfully yet commit to 3 hours, except for like the first week. There's a group down the bottom coming in. I'm just checking around. I'm looking for big patches of shadows. It's just that group by the look of it. They're going to break this area. They're going to crash land in, so let's unpause it. Let's focus on them important pawns. Just safety. Yeah, this is only a little one. And it's people. Which Thrombo is that? Remington and Big Boy. Big Boy's an original. And that's not mine. Alright. Actually, I should probably just fucking ready up everyone. This will take a couple of minutes. I'm guessing they're probably going to come down in here, so let's get the animals in here too. That will call Big Boy back in as well, so we should be fine. This is just an enemy raid, so this is an example literally of like AI enemy coming in to attack us. An enemy faction has come to crash landed in to attack us and stuff, so they will fight us, they will kill our people, they will kill our animals, they will steal stuff if they win, all that kind of stuff. But I have a lot of people, and that's only a little group. That's a tiny group. That's not even really a raid, to be fair. Like, I can only select 200 people at a time, by the way. Anyway, might as well keep answering stuff while I'm doing this. So Geneva is definitely a suggestion for you. So Geneva what? No such thing in my colonies. Lol. It's pretty funny. Weeks is all the way up the top. As long as nobody goes out the outside, I don't really give a shit. Who's the animal that's down? No animals available. I wonder why it's giving me that. It doesn't matter. Let's check you there. They're gonna keep putting them in random spots just at the moment, but... Oh, there's Ray. Oh no, that's Rose. Fucking hell. I thought I saw I thought I saw Ray. Let me just save this so that I don't have to do this shit again later in case we I don't think we're gonna have a problem, but we should be fine. But everyone's doing the strat tracking for everyone. It needs to raise. Make Amazon and Google. What's that? Proud levels of data collection on people. What? What in here? It's basically like that. Oh damn. But those are all AI. Yeah. Ones, yeah, AI controlled, but you can also manually control them for micromanaging and stuff. Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't usually do much in the way of like micromanaging my colony. I normally just let them do whatever. This is why I like it when I get to a point where I've got 2 colonies, because I can go fuck around in one and then the other one's just self-sufficient. It's fine. Whereas in this case, like I'm trying to get something done before moving, which by the way, it looks like that's going to be, I don't really mind if that's next week. I just don't have everybody here. And we finally got attacked, so I can actually start preparing it now. But yeah, I'm also checking everybody for like special names or special skills. I will not take unwaveringly loyal people because they will only ever be slaves, and I don't take slaves. So I'm trying to see if anybody stands out with something. If somebody had an exceptional medical, or also you can find out like the traits about your persons and stuff, like this person that's there, that's the name that they'll go by, that's their name, their age. Some people have a second age where they've been like cryogenically frozen, so they are technically older than they are and stuff. They'll give you like a childhood and adulthood kind of backstory to them, which affects their skills and interests. Like double fire is passion, and that's also passion too, but it's less passionate and stuff like that. Some people will be enabled to do stuff, incapable of stuff, and it will say what it is here. Like some people won't be able to do cleaning or hauling or something like that, or firefighting or whatever. And like these each have their own information and stuff. So like sickly, they're more likely to get sick and